Let's start this story during Revenge of the Sith. Anakin and Obi-Wan stand opposite Count Dooku, the leader of the Separatists, eager to put an end to his tyranny. They know if they can defeat him here and now, that the end of the Clone War is a possibility. The fight commences, and the two Jedi rush the Sith Lord. Count Dooku was a master duelist, and used the Force to push Kenobi across the room and render him unconscious. It was now a 1v1, Anakin vs Dooku, and Anakin's true test of his skill. They slashed their lightsabers back and forth, each looking for an opening. Two of the strongest duelists in the galaxy, putting all of their skills on display. Anakin thinks he sees an opening and goes for Dooku's wrists, but the Count was baiting him in, pulls back at the last second and thrusts his lightsaber through Anakin's abdomen. The Chosen One winces in pain as he stumbles across the room. Dooku increases his output and goes for the killing strike. Across the room, Palpatine yells for Dooku to wait, but the Count ignores this command and thrusts his lightsaber through Anakin, and the Chosen One is dead. Palpatine releases his handcuffs and rushes across the room to hold his lightsaber at Dooku's throat. He tells his apprentice he ignored a direct command and looks down on him with all his fury. Anakin was meant to become his apprentice and had the potential to surpass him in power. But now, that isn't possible. The future he has been making for decades can no longer come into fruition, and his years of manipulating Anakin have been for nothing. He wanted to kill Dooku for what he's done, but holds himself back. Now with Anakin's death, he knows he'll need Dooku's help in the Purge. He'll put up with the former Jedi for now, but by killing Anakin, he signed his own death order. Palpatine has to change his plans. Of course he had a backup in case something like this happened, and thinks through the process in his mind. He decided he'll use Anakin's death to benefit him and change the narrative to portray that Anakin died defending him, and use this to gain sympathy in the Senate. He tells Dooku they'll commence Plan F, and Dooku knows what to do. First he disposes of Kenobi. He long dreamed to convert Obi-Wan to their side, since he felt a connection to him because he was Qui-Gon's apprentice, but knows there is no hope of doing this. He then calls in more of his separatist forces to aid in the Battle of Coruscant, and they come out of hyperspace and begin invading the planet. The Republic forces begin to become overwhelmed, but the commander of the fleet calls in for reinforcements, and they manage to hold their ground and fight back. However, the separatists have broken through the atmosphere and have begun attacking the surface below, and the battle has spread towards the planet's core. On the surface, the Jedi are told about the evolving situation above, and many are mobilized and enter their own single-man fighters to join the battle. The Republic forces have hope of fighting back and are turning the tide of the battle until the unthinkable happens. Palpatine's time has come, and he executes Order 66 and commands the clones to attack the Jedi all around the galaxy. In the chaos of the battle, he sends Count Dooku and General Grievous towards the Jedi Temple to lead the clones in the sacking of the Jedi's home. But at the same time, he weakens the strength of the Separatist forces in space, purposefully disrupting their communications so the Republic ships begin to overwhelm them, all part of Palpatine's plan. But now is when he'll make his grab for power. He goes to the Senate chambers, where he details his perfectly fabricated story to the Senate. He tells them the hero of the Clone War, Anakin Skywalker, managed to save him from the grips of Count Dooku and General Grievous, and they both got away in an escape pod. Palpatine pauses and goes to wipe away a false tear. He continues by saying that just after they returned to his office, they were confronted by members of the Jedi Council, Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, and many more, who ignited their lightsabers to tell the Chancellor he is under arrest and that the Jedi are taking over. Gasps and whispers are heard all around the Senate, and Palpatine confirms what they all must be thinking. Yes, the Jedi attempted to take control of the Republic in the midst of battle. When the people needed them the most, they turned their backs on everyone and sought out power for themselves. Senators all around start to voice their anger, and Mas Amedda has to step in, calling for order. Palpatine smirks. His plan is working. He follows on by saying that Anakin Skywalker opposed the Jedi Council and tried to talk them out of it, but it was no use. Anakin drew his weapon and defended him from the Jedi's attacks long enough so that he could escape. But Anakin paid the ultimate price with his life. This entire story is fabricated, but no one in the Senate will ever know. He announces that the Jedi are now enemies of the Republic, and they must be hunted down and defeated. Palpatine has been in power for a long time, and is trusted by the majority of the Senate, so they believe and trust what he says. He says the heroism of Anakin Skywalker will never be forgotten, and in his memory, they will push back the Separatist invaders and Jedi traitors. But to ensure stability in this transitory period, the Republic will be transformed into the First Galactic Empire. Cheers and roars of support echo around the chamber, and Palpatine has done it. He's become Emperor of the Galaxy. Dooku and Grievous were successful in the Purge of the Jedi Temple, and with the support of tens of thousands of clones, the entire temple was destroyed. The Council was decimated, including Yoda and Windu, as they couldn't defend against the rapid onslaught of clones. A few Jedi managed to escape into the streets of Coruscant, but they were swiftly hunted down and defeated before they could escape the planet. The Jedi were defeated, and Order 66 was a huge success. Over the following months, Palpatine continues to establish his empire. The Separatists lost the Battle of Coruscant, and Grievous was sent to execute the leaders of the Separatist Council. Grievous was repurposed, and has his entire armor and look changed, so he was unrecognizable, but still had the same heart and memories, and led the hunt of the surviving Jedi around the galaxy. Palpatine kept Dooku alive for now, as he assisted in the transition of the Separatist worlds into Palpatine's empire, but the Emperor knew in time he would be of little more use. He would get back at him for taking Anakin Skywalker from him. Padme in this time leaves the Senate and heads back home to Naboo, where she plans to have her children. In the original story, she gave birth early due to the stress of Anakin's betrayal. However, now she would take her pregnancy to term and give birth a month later after the Empire was established. She gave birth with family and friends watching at her lake house, and her thoughts were filled with her deceased husband, Anakin Skywalker, and still struggled with the mystery around his death. It didn't seem right. Padme couldn't believe the Jedi would betray the Republic and also kill Anakin. So many questions, and she needed to know the truth. But she can see his face in her twin children, Luke and Leia, and knows his memory will live on. However, on Coruscant, Palpatine senses a disturbance in the Force and rushes to Naboo immediately. He sensed a strong burst of Force energy explode into the living fabric of the universe and heads to this location immediately. He enters Padme's lake house and uses the Force to destroy a wall, which exposes Padme with her newborn twins and the family and friends who have come to watch and support. They all look in shock at Palpatine, and the Sith Lord realizes what has happened. Padme was pregnant with the children of Anakin Skywalker. This gave him joy beyond belief, and he now has a new hope for a successor. He uses the Force to steal the twins from Padme's arms and looks upon their cute innocent faces and grins deeply. Padme's frozen in fear as she looks upon Emperor Palpatine, the man who mentored her for years and supported her as queen. He is a Sith Lord and must have been involved in Anakin's death. But before Padme can do or say anything, Palpatine turns to the clones next to him and orders them to fire as he turns away, and the screams of Padme and her family cloud his ears, but can't help but smile at the baby twins, who bear the resemblance of the chosen one Anakin Skywalker, and they will become the strongest Sith in history. If you enjoyed this video, you have to watch What If Anakin Skywalker Never Killed Count Dooku, or What If Count Dooku Never Turned to the Dark Side. I appreciate all your support of the videos recently, and please continue to leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments. Please like and subscribe, it really helps a lot, and may the Force be with you.